Today we will talk about how to say I have or there is. In the lesson announcement, I called this to express the absence or presence of things. So simply put, in simple words, that's how we will see like I have something or there is something. And of course we will also see the negative versions of this. We will also see the colloquial examples of this. Finally, the introduction to our subject. In this lesson, we will learn how to express the presence or absence of things. And we will take a look how to say them in different tenses, like present, future, and past. So there is no direct English equivalent. There is no direct translation to those words. We will have still translations, but they will not be directly translated. So this is really important for you to understand. So you need to understand how it works. Only then you can express if you have something or if there is something in your possession. So there are two words that you need to learn for this, var and yok. The main title of our subject, var and yok. So what is var and yok? Var is used to express the presence of something. And yok is the antonym of this. It's the opposite of var. So var, positive, yok, negative. You can also tell the difference by their color. Green means positive, red means negative. So if something is present or if there's the presence of something, it's var. And if something is absent, if there's not something, if it doesn't exist, you can say yok. So this is simple. I will quickly move to the next slide. There are a few things to remember. I added these reminders for you to understand this subject in the very great detail. So they are usually used at the end of sentences. Turkish sentence order is actually very flexible. You can change this order, you can switch the subject to the end or verb to the beginning, but in most examples, in most cases, var and yok goes at the end of a sentence. And var actually means exist, like it exists, bu var. So this will be very confusing for English speakers, Spanish speakers. Like if you don't have any, if you're not familiar with this concept, it will be weird for you. So try to get familiar with it. And there are two ways to express the presence or absence of things. I put them in two categories. There is and I have. So we will be focusing on how to say sentences with there is or there is not, and I have or I don't have. So let's see, let's go. So before we go, here is the famous expression from Descartes. Düşünüyorum, öyleyse varım is how we say. I mean, I'm sure most of you know the original expression. I think in English it was I think, therefore I am, but we don't say I am, we say I exist. Düşünüyorum, öyleyse varım. We say it with var. And varım, I think this spoils the next slide. We will see how we can say I have or I exist. I don't want to explain things that are already written. You can read it yourself. So I added directly examples. I will read them. I will try to explain how they are constructed. So parkta çocuklar var or yok. Parkta çocuklar. So park means park. It should be simple. Park. So çocuklar var. So this ta here means the location. Like we did this lesson. It's the locative case. So in the park there are kids or there are not kids. So there are or there are not kids in the park. wait, at the park, at the park, I guess. So in, on, at is very confusing for Turkish speakers because we only have one single ending for them. It's one of the most common mistakes. So there are kids or there are not kids at the park is how you can say this. Parkta çocuklar var, parkta çocuklar yok. Alright, I will quickly move to the next slide. Next example, I mean, sorry. So, garajda araba var ya da yok. Or garajda araba yok. So again, it will be a simple example. So, there is a car or there is not a car in the garage. Garage is an adopted word, garage. That's how we pronounce it. Garajda araba var or yok. Evde ekmek var. There is bread, or there is not, of course. At the house. At the house, in the house. Like we don't have bread in the house. And this should be familiar when you go to a house with a big garden. If there's a dog running around inside the garden, they usually put a sign on the gate, on the door, like dikkat köpek var. So it's like attention, like there's a dog. You will see this sign, the warning with the houses that are dogs in it. Dikkat köpek var. So let's see what's next. And the other category I have. So we were only talking about how to talk about things like there is, there is not, or there are not. So now we are talking about the other category, the other way to talk about the absence or presence things. But this one is mostly about your possessions. Like, do you have something or do you not have something? Like, I have this or you have this. I added this category inside this one instead of the genitive case because it goes better with var and yok. So you can also use var and yok when you talk about your possessions, but you will need the genitive case endings on the noun. So terminology here again, noun means like words that are like objects or abstract things. Like, for example, adjectives are things that describe nouns. So after an adjective, you will see a noun. So benim arabam var. I have this benim for genitive case. Benim, my, arabam, am. I want to use. I want to use my pencil. Benim arabam. So you have this. They shows the possession. Araba belongs to me. So benim arabam var or yok. I have it. I have a car, or I don't have a car. So again, benim telefonum. This shows the possession. So the phone belongs to me. Benim telefonum var or yok. Benim kardeşim. The same thing again. Var or yok. So this is more like I have a car. I have a car. Or I don't have a car. I have a phone or I don't have a phone. And the final one, I have or don't have a sibling. So let's try to make more examples. Again, I will let you make up your own examples without spoilers. Don't bother with the spoilers. So how would you say, like, how can you say I have, like, I have money. I have money. How would you say this? Don't bother with the spoilers. Yes, that's good. Benim param var. Yeah, if you don't have money, I don't have money. Benim param yok. In either cases, you will need the possessives. Benim param var, benim param yok. And you can use this structure on anything. So I actually added this table about genitive cases in case someone is not really good with this, but I think it's all okay. So I will quickly skip this. Okay, and there's this part that I want to mention. Benim, for example, benim kedim var. That actually means my cat exists. This is, if you look at the endings, benim kedim, my cat, and I have also said var means exist, so my cat exists. So this can be confusing or this can be weird, but when we say I have in Turkish, we actually say my, like, something exists. Or like the previous examples, benim arabam var. That actually means like my car exists. Benim telefonum var. My phone exists. So this should be your fun facts. This is how Turkish works. But like we say this, but we mean I have a car or I have a phone. So what's next?